Paris, 1866. The world's top linguists didn't just fail to explain the origin of language, they banned the question entirely. The Linguistic Society of Paris, the most prestigious gathering of language scholars on the planet, issued an absolute bizarre decree. It is illegal to ask where the first word came from. Crazy, right? Of course, it wasn't because the answer was dangerous, but because they had no answer at all. The speculation had become so rampant, so untethered from evidence, that the most rigorous scientific minds did the only honest thing they could. They banned the question itself. Sometimes the bravest scientific act is admitting you simply cannot know yet. Welcome to Curious Minds Podcast. I'm your host, Giorgos from Athens. I am a researcher specializing in evolutionary linguistics, which basically means I spend my life tracking down the ghosts of human speech. I mean, think about it. If you go online right now and search, "What is the oldest language in the world?" you will walk straight into a digital war zone. You'll find furious debates, nationalistic pride, and a whole lot of political noise. Everyone wants their ancestors to be the ones who invented speech. Was it Tamil? Was it Sanskrit? Was it an ancient African tongue? Well, today, we are going to audit that debate. We're going to strip away the politics and look at what the evidence actually lets us say. Because the one core idea we really need to understand today is this. Language is not many separate inventions. It is one biological instinct that fractured. So, let's start at the very beginning. Here is the great unanswered mystery of our field. We can dig up the fossilized bones of our ancestors. We can find their stone tools. But we cannot dig up a fossil of a spoken word. Sound leaves no shadow in the dirt. For years, the media obsessed over a specific piece of DNA called the FOXP2 gene. While FOXP2 was once called the language gene, landmark research, including a major 2018 study, showed its role is far more complex. It focuses on the fine motor coordination required for speech, rather than being a single magical switch for grammar. It just helps the brain wire itself to coordinate the lightning-fast acrobatics of the lips, jaw, and tongue. But here is the thing. Having the physical tools to speak is like having a steering wheel without an engine. What makes human language entirely unique in the animal kingdom is something called syntax, specifically a concept called recursive phrasing. Recursion is the ability to put one thought inside another, infinitely. The man. The man who saw the dog. The man who saw the dog that chased the cat. Only a human brain has the hardwired mathematical structure to generate a sentence that has never been spoken before in the history of the universe. And you know what? We didn't just discover this recently. Western linguistics loves to credit modern thinkers for understanding syntax. But over 2,500 years ago, an ancient Indian scholar named Pahnini essentially became the world's first computer scientist. In his famous treatise, the Ashtadhyayi, he looked at Sanskrit and mapped the entire language into nearly 4,000 algebraic rules. He invented formal grammar and recursive algorithms millennia before silicon chips existed. How incredible is that? All right, so the biological engine is installed. But you're probably wondering, who actually spoke the first recognized language? Well, we actually have modern proof that the human brain will spontaneously generate language from nothing. In the 1980s, hundreds of deaf children in Nicaragua, who had never been taught any formal language, spontaneously invented Nicaraguan Sign Language right there on the playground. It was born out of thin air, proving language is an innate biological instinct. But for the spoken languages that did spread across the globe, they splintered and evolved like a massive tree. Recently, a major breakthrough from the Max Planck Institute estimated that the Indo-European family, covering everything from English to Greek to Sanskrit, is approximately 8,100 years old, originating south of the Caucasus. But, as an auditor, I have to be completely honest with you. There is a fierce debate here. Western linguistics relies heavily on digging in the dirt and tracking sound shifts. But some archaeoastronomers look at the stars. They study the Rig Veda and point to highly specific astronomical observations, alignments of the stars and solstices. They use this as an alternative dating method, arguing it places those texts back 6,000 to 8,000 years ago, along the banks of the Sarasvati River. It's a fascinating clash between mainstream linguistic consensus and alternative astronomical traditions, and it proves that dating ancient languages is the most complex puzzle in human history. Which brings us to the main event. How do we actually audit the ultimate question? Which language is the oldest? Tamil, Sanskrit, or an African language? Listen. In evolutionary linguistics, saying a spoken language is the oldest is technically impossible. Every language spoken today has been evolving for the exact same amount of time, stretching back to our earliest speaking ancestors over 100,000 years ago. But if we strictly audit the evidence, we can definitely declare champions in 3 distinct categories. Let's get into it. Number 1, the deepest roots. First up, if we are looking for the oldest echoing branches of human migration, we look to Africa. The Afro-Asiatic family emerged roughly 10 to 12,000 years ago. But even deeper are the Khoisan languages of southern Africa, famous for their click consonants. Genetic and linguistic studies confirm these lineages represent some of the deepest and oldest genetic divergences in human history. They are the closest echoes we have to the very dawn of humanity. Number 2, the living fossil. Next, shift your focus to the oldest continuous, living classical literature. That crown goes to Tamil. Tamil possesses one of the longest unbroken traditions in the world. It is a masterclass in linguistic endurance, giving us a breathtaking window into the deep roots of the Dravidian language family that is literally still spoken on the streets today. Number 3, the oral blockchain. And finally, what about the oldest audio preservation? We tend to think of ancient writing like the magnificent Brahmi script, which emerged over 2,300 years ago and became the mother of dozens of Asian writing systems. But before writing, the ancient Indians achieved something staggering. They didn't trust physical texts. They knew manuscripts rot, right? So instead, they invented an oral blockchain. Using a strict mathematical meter called chun-dus, the Vedic priests wove syllables into complex, error-correcting geometric grids. This cryptographic recitation preserved the exact tonal frequencies and accents of the Rig Veda for thousands of years without a single syllable changing. It is literally a living, breathing tape recording from antiquity. So, what does all of this actually mean? Let's pull these threads together. The click consonants of the African plains, the unbroken poetry of Tamil, the ancient Brahmi scripts carved into stone, and the algebraic perfection of Panini's Sanskrit, rules that look shockingly similar to the logic powering today's large language models. But the most undeniable proof isn't just in the grammar, it is in the vocabulary, the cognates. Let's pause on that word for a second. In linguistics, a cognate isn't a coincidence. It is a linguistic fossil. It is a piece of ancestral code that has survived thousands of years of wars, migrations, and collapsing empires. Think about the very first things early humans needed to name. Take the word mother. In my native Greek, mi tera. In Latin, mater. In ancient Sanskrit, matrai. In Persian, mahdar. Take the elements. The word water. In German, Wasser. In Russian, Vogda. And 3,500 years ago in the ancient Hittite Empire, Watar. You are crossing thousands of miles. You are crossing oceans, mountain ranges, and entirely different religions. And yet, the core code, the sounds vibrating in the human throat, remains locked in place. This is what I mean when I say the borders on our maps dissolve. We draw these heavy, violent lines across the globe. We build walls and convince ourselves we are fundamentally different from the people on the other side. But peel back a few millennia, and a software engineer in Silicon Valley, a farmer in rural India, and a poet in ancient Greece are all using the exact same ancestral software to ask for a drink of water or call out for their parents. When we zoom out, the pattern snaps into focus. We are all running a modified version of the exact same Babel code. Language is not many separate inventions. It is one profound biological instinct that fractured. Now this brings us to exactly why this matters right now, today. For tens of thousands of years, human language has been doing exactly one thing: fracturing, evolving into thousands of mutually unintelligible tongues. But right now, artificial intelligence is collapsing those evolutionary barriers. We are building a digital infrastructure where a thought spoken in Mandarin is instantly heard in Spanish. We are digitally merging languages back together. But here is the catch. AI doesn't understand meaning. It understands mathematical geometry. It is creating a flattened digital interlingua. And in doing so, it is triggering a mass extinction event. Sure, we are flawlessly translating the major global languages, but the AI filter is simultaneously erasing thousands of fragile ancient languages simply because the machines do not have enough data to learn them. We are closing in on the roots of speech. We may never hear the first human word in the physical dirt. The first time we hear the original human voice, it might just come from a machine. But we must be very careful about whose voices that machine is allowed to forget. Let me leave you with this. The next time you open your mouth to speak, whether you're gossiping with a friend or comforting a child, take a second to realize what you are actually doing. You are firing up a biological software program shaped by tens of thousands of years of human survival. Every sentence you speak is a fossil that never turned to stone. My challenge to you this week: find a cognate. Look up a primal word like water or mother in 3 different languages. Look at the shapes of the letters. Listen to the sounds. You might just see the invisible threads connecting all of us. I'm Giorgos, and this Curious Minds podcast. Stay curious, stay sharp.